It'll be an internal conversation, but the American people sent us a message loud and clear. And we need to listen to that message, and we need to respond. We need to make sure that we are prepared for the next 2 years in the best possible way.
This is a message to our constituents saying we have heard you. We have clearly missed the mark on some regards to legislation and messaging, and we're going to work on this because we want to make sure that we're an effective caucus to put up the opposition, Donald Trump, and to make sure that he's only a one-term president.
How we're going to fight and re-win working-class people, which have been the heart and soul of this party, but unfortunately are now voting against Democrats.
Welcome back to Harper. Those are some of the younger members of the House of Representatives in the Democratic caucus. A faction of House Democrats called on Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi to put off the leadership election in their caucus, which had been scheduled for tomorrow. Well, after yesterday's meeting, Pelosi agreed to delay the elections until November 30th, the end of this month, which could signal trouble for Pelosi, who has led House Democrats since 2002. And announced today she's seeking re-election, so she's going for it. One member in her ranks weighing whether to challenge her is Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio, who says blue-collar voters need to vote blue again if Democrats are ever going to take back the House in Republican hands. Congressman Ryan, a Democrat from just outside Youngstown, Ohio, joins me now. Congressman Ryan, do people agree with you that the Democrats basically have discarded the white working class, if you will? They have not included them in their thinking or in their appeals? Or do the other people say, oh, forget about them, they're lost, we'll go with minorities and women without college degrees, that sort of point of view?
I think most people recognize after the drubbing on Tuesday in what was billed really is the great blue firewall, which was, you know, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, and we almost lost Minnesota. I mean, those are where the blue collar folks are, and they turned away from the Democratic Party in droves. And I think there is a general consensus that, you know, we need to get back on that economic message that we're here as Democrats to try to create jobs and opportunity, not retrain people for a job that doesn't exist, not to train someone to be able to run a computer, but that can run a backhoe, that can take their shower after work. Those are the kind of people we need to keep fighting for.
What about the fact that Democrats, like the Republicans, spend all their time with their contributors, wealthy people with wealthy people's concerns and sometimes neurosis? All they care about is these things they care about that are not exactly bread and butter issues that should matter to the Democrats, right? You know, yeah. New York, San Francisco, they're nice places to live, but they do have different points of view than the average person in Youngstown, Ohio. Isn't that the problem? Money talks?
No question about it, and that's why I say Donald Trump says he wants to drain the swamp. I'm all in. Let's publicly finance campaigns, and let's make sure that campaigns are only 2 or 3 months long like they are in Great Britain. I mean, that's the way to go to really drain the swamp so we can get back to talking about the real issues that matter to real people in places like Youngstown, Ohio.
Are you going to run against Nancy Pelosi for Democratic leader at the end of the month?
I'm not sure. We're having a lot of conversations now. My goal was to get this election moved. I didn't agree that it should be tomorrow. We need to talk about this. We need to have a big family fight maybe about the next direction of the Democratic Party. Look, the Obamas are gone, the Bidens are gone, the Clintons are gone, Harry Reid's gone. There's no one at the DNC. We have an election for minority leader here in the House of Representatives. What direction do we want the American dream to go in, Chris? I mean, what's America 2.0? What's the Democratic Party 2.0? What's the next iteration of the Democratic Party? We better start thinking about that and align our policies and our strategies and our tactics and our operations in the direction of creating this new America. Within this tragedy that happened on Tuesday is opportunity. And I think great leaders and great organizations find opportunity in tough times like this. You
know, maybe we need fewer hyphenated Democrats and more unhyphenated Democrats, just regular Democrats. That could be the solution. Bread and butter, work and wages, as Tip O'Neill believed in, is the heart of the party. Maybe that's the solution. You got a tough road to hoe against Nancy Pelosi because she's not only a hard worker, she's smart and tough. So it's going to be a tough road if you're up against her.
I love Nancy Pelosi. I'm not here to blame Nancy Pelosi. She can't get blamed for what happened on Tuesday. The question is, are we going to take the House back, and can we take the House back? If we do, we got to go into those states, Michigan, Wisconsin. We got to go to all 50 states. Red districts, red states. The question is, who's the messenger that can go into those communities and pull those Trump voters back into the Democratic fold? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves.
Well, I'm impressed you got Brennan Boyle in your crowd there, and you got Seth Moulton. You got some great new guys there. Thank you, and women, I assume, too. Thank you so much, Tim Ryan. Up next, the Hardball Roundtable, and our top story tonight, the chaos, if that's what it is, inside the Trump transition, as the calls for Trump to yank back the appointment of Steve Bannon grow louder and louder. That's not going to stop. Bannon is the Jonah on that ship. I think the whale's looking for him. You're watching Hardball, the place for politics.